Hello. This morning I decided that I'd like to try and do an oil painting, and I'm using these Winsor & Newton Artisan water mixable oil paints. I'm using this photo of my local beach as a guide, but I'm trying to use totally different colours. I'm painting onto a canvas covered board. So the reason for the title of this video is that today it was just one of those days where I had quite a strong desire to do some art, but absolutely nothing felt like it was going very well. And to be fair, I've got COVID at the moment and I'm not feeling totally brilliant, and I've also sprained my foot and need crutches to walk on, so I'm definitely feeling even more distracted than usual today. Thank you very much, by the way, for all the lovely get well soon messages on my previous couple of videos. So back to this painting, I wanted to use non-realistic colours, and I actually don't mind the colours too much at this stage of the painting, but I felt like it was a little bit bland and lacking contrast in some way. So I played around with it and ended up liking it even less. One thing that I learned on my recent art course in St Ives, and which I think will give me more courage, is that if I don't really like something, if I don't feel like it's resolved or finished, then I've got absolutely nothing to lose by taking risks with it and making it worse. So here I am with this painting, changing the colours and changing the contrast. I still wasn't very in love with it, and so decided to push on with it, and I ended up just painting the whole thing into one big splodge. By this point it's a horrible colour, but I know that if I just abandon it I'd be feeling even grumpier. So I pushed on with it again, and in just a very few minutes put in the details of the cliffs again. I have to say the texture of the paint is absolutely lovely to work with. I've used very little water. It's mainly the consistency as it comes out the tubes here. But by this point I'm really fed up with the painting, and so I pretty much just abandon it here. I think the looseness of it is okay, but it looks absolutely nothing like how I kind of envisaged it would be. So after a bit of a rest, I did this little tiny oil painting, and I think this one turned out okay, but it was more kind of realistic colours, which is what I'm used to doing. So I didn't really feel like I'd pushed ahead with trying to develop new things. And then later on, I got out quite a thin papered sketch pad. I just really felt like scribbling and throwing some colour down. So I got out my Stabilo Woody crayons, which are water soluble. And I used this photo, which I took over the Christmas holidays out of the car window when I was back in Cambridgeshire, as a reference. I didn't really have any plan for this picture. It was more about using art materials that I just felt like using. I really was just chucking down colour as fast as I possibly could, and then I go in with water and dissolve all of the pencil lines. It's at this stage where I kind of am thinking, there's no way I can get this to look like anything decent, but I pushed on with it anyway, and actually I was really quite enjoying myself. As soon as I've dissolved all of the woody pencil lines, I go in with oil pastels, and I'm using the Paul Rubens Haiya Oil Pastels. The paper's not even dry and it's all kind of crinkling up because it's thin, but it's actually really quite an enjoyable process doing this stage. I did end up really enjoying myself by the end of this picture. I think I enjoy oil pastels as a medium. especially when you're just chucking colour down and aren't feeling too precious about the final result. And again, I really do enjoy these Hiya oil pastels. They're really consistent in their texture and have nice opacity. So here's the finished picture up close. Thank you very much for joining me on one of my more grumpy art days. Hopefully there's some value in seeing those too. Bye!